Donald Trump just got a giant middle finger from some prominent Republicans. Huffington Post explains here, 50 of the Republican Party's most experienced national security officials will not vote for GOP presidential nominee Donald Trump, they wrote in an open letter released Monday. Quote, "We are convinced that Trump would be a dangerous president and would put at risk our country's national security and well-being," said the former officials, many of whom held top positions in the George W. Bush administration. They continue here. Most fundamentally, Mr. Trump lacks the character, values, and experience to be president. He weakens U.S. moral authority as the leader of the free world. Signers include some of the best-known intelligence, defense, and security experts of the past 2 decades, Michael Hayden, the former director of both the CIA and the NSA, Michael Chertoff and Tom Ridge, both of whom served as Secretaries of Homeland Security under the Bush administration, and former Vice President Dick Cheney. In closing, the 50 GOP officials wrote this. "We are convinced that in the Oval Office, he would be the most reckless president in American history." Okay, now, a lot of liberals are taking this letter and they're doing a victory lap. They're like, yay, we got him! Republicans don't like Donald Trump. The establishment elite Republicans don't like Donald Trump. But no, you didn't get him. You got yourself. Because what have I told you guys and what have I maintained from the beginning? The only group of people that you should dislike more than you dislike Donald Trump. And let's be clear, you absolutely should dislike Donald Trump for a variety of reasons that we've gone over a million times. But the only group of people you should dislike more than him are the establishment elitist Republicans. Dude, these are neocons. It's so funny. This is an article that was in Huffington Post. When the fuck has Huffington Post ever referred to neocons from the Bush administration as 50 of the Republican Party's most experienced national security officials? Oh, so now they're experienced national security officials as opposed to neocons who ruin the fucking planet. No, they're still neocons who ruin the fucking planet. So as I've described before, what's the difference between Donald Trump and these guys? Well, these guys, I mean, they're gonna feign outrage over, oh, he's such a xenophobic bigot. Hold on now. You're from the Republican Party. The Republican Party that ran the Southern strategy for decades. The Republican Party that only differs from Trump in rhetoric. Where Donald Trump comes out and says, yeah, they're criminals, they're rapists, the Mexicans, they kick out all Muslims. They do stuff like that. What do the neocons do? They speak in coded language, but point to the same sentiments. This idea that the Republicans, oh, bigotry! Yeah, bitch, you made that bed. Now you gotta sleep in it. So they're more coded in their bigotry and their xenophobia. Now, what's the other difference? The other difference is that when it comes to foreign policy, Trump half the time is more reasonable than them. So half the time Trump will say, I don't even want to be in Syria. Why would I want to be in Syria? ISIS is in Syria. Let Vladimir Putin fight ISIS. I don't care. I don't want to be there. Yeah, that's good. When Trump says, why can't we rebuild our infrastructure instead of spending all this money on these wars? Yeah, that's good. That's way better than anything any neocon has ever said. So half the time he's better on foreign policy. Now, to be clear, half the time he's actually even more hawkish than the neocons. When he openly says, I am going to kill civilians, and that is the point of my foreign policy. So, and the neocons, while they have killed many civilians, they never said the point is to kill civilians. It was more of a, whoops, we killed civilians, which is still horrendous. But it's categorically different from somebody who says, no, that's the point. Because Donald Trump's saying, I'm going to be a terrorist. So half the time, Donald Trump is less hawkish than these neocons. Half the time, he's more hawkish. But the neocons are, make no mistake about it, consistently hawkish. And that's one of the things they don't like about Donald Trump. What's the other thing they don't like about Donald Trump? He speaks out against TPP. He speaks out against globalization. He speaks out against these so-called free trade deals, which are just outsourcing deals that make it so that U.S. corporations can exploit slave labor in third world countries. Well, Dick Cheney can't have that. Are you kidding me? The neocons can't have that. their wet dream is endless free trade deals, because then that enriches their wealthy, business leader buddies, the elites in the country, and that fucks over everybody else. They don't give a fuck about anybody else. So what do? Oh, they write this letter and they cry their crocodile tears. Oh, Donald Trump, he's going to be the most reckless president in American history. Dick Cheney signed a letter calling somebody else reckless. Motherfucker, you invaded a country that didn't attack us. Just Saddam Hussein 9/11, Saddam Hussein 9/11, Saddam Hussein 9/11, Saddam Hussein 9/11. Whoops, we invaded a country, occupied it, killed hundreds of thousands of innocent civilians, destabilized the Middle East, created the vacuum that ISIS rose up out of. But now let me tell you why this other guy is so crazy on foreign policy. I mean, what a lunatic he is. I mean, if we elect Donald Trump, he might, invade the wrong country, and kill hundreds of thousands of civilians, and set up a worldwide torture regime, and destabilize and make it so that we get worse jihadists that come out of that. Fuck, I did all those things. Damn it. So, no, I take no joy out of reading this letter. If anything, it makes me, somebody who despises Trump probably more than anybody listening right now, for more reasons than everybody listening right now, because I cover this stuff for a living. I know all the fucked up things Trump has said and done. But when I read this, I go, oh, fuck off. Fuck off. Michael Hayden, the guy who's like, we should spy on everybody. Let's shove a camera up your grandma's ass and see what shows she's watching on TV, because the NSA should know everything ever. Now, all of a sudden, that guy's like, oh, Donald Trump, he doesn't understand the Constitution. That's another part that they put in here. He doesn't understand the Constitution, so we can't have his president. He doesn't understand the Constitution. From the guys who shat on the Fourth Amendment. Protection from unreasonable search and seizure. They're like, oh, what's this we have here? That's fucking nice. Yeah, Fourth Amendment, my ass cheeks. The same people who did that, the same people who set up a worldwide torture regime, we have the Eighth Amendment, protection from cruel and unusual punishment. They're like, yeah, how about no? How about we get rid of that and we torture people? Now all of a sudden they're like, oh, Constitution! Constitution! Donald Trump's gonna violate the Constitution that we care about so dearly. No, you don't. No, you don't. So please spare me. 50 of the worst people on the planet are saying never Trump, but they arrogantly, condescendingly, patronizingly think, well, we obviously have moral authority. We were part of the Bush administration. We were part of a former White House, which is obviously good by definition. We had positions of power. Our names are known. So you must respect what we say. I don't respect what you say. I don't respect it. If you set up a worldwide torture regime, if you set up spying apparatus, if you invaded the wrong country and killed innocent civilians, you did all these horrific things. And now all of a sudden, when somebody potentially worse comes along, now you want to tell me, oh, I know what's best for you. You never knew what's best for anybody. You don't. You only know how to make things worse. So, this is absolutely ridiculous. They can take this letter and shove it up their ass. And any fucking so-called liberal who wants to use this, oh, yeah, we got neocons are with us. Yeah, aren't you embarrassed? Aren't you embarrassed? This is what Cindy Sheehan said, the point that Cindy Sheehan made while talking about the Democrats who are now, oh, we care about Kaiser Khan and his family and Humayun Khan, the Muslim war hero who was killed fighting for the United States. Well, she says, yeah, you gonna let them down like you let me down and go to more wars and stuff like that? And then she goes on to say, liberals are all happy. Yay, conservative Republicans are supporting Hillary Clinton. She's like, yeah, aren't you embarrassed? Doesn't that tell you something about her policies? So that's the same thing I feel about this. Oh, are neocons against Donald Trump? Am I supposed to feel all warm and fuzzy about that because I'm on the same fucking side as Dick Cheney about something? No. They can sit down and shut the fuck up. I got no interest in what the fuck they have to say. Now, I have my own reasons, which are not the same as their reasons. The reasons they dislike Trump are stupid. The reasons I dislike Trump actually make sense. So I'm actually outraged by all the shit he says about how he's going to bring back torture. I'm actually outraged when he says we need to kill the families of terrorists in the Middle East, kill civilians. I'm actually outraged by that. I'm actually outraged by the fact that he says, I'm going to rip up the Paris Agreement on day one. Climate change is a Chinese hoax. I'm not going to do dick about climate change because I don't think it's real. So I'm actually outraged about that. I'm actually outraged about the fact that he said he wants to put Scalia 2.0 on the Supreme Court. A deeply racist, almost openly racist. Blacks should be in slower schools. This is what Scalia believes. He wants that guy, 2.0, in 2016 on the fucking court. Okay, there's 1,000,001 reasons, legitimate reasons, to say Donald Trump's a crazy person. He said at one point, I want to lower wages. I want to lower wages. Really? This is the guy that we want? Fucking liar, fake billionaire who went bankrupt at least 4 or 5 times? Now all of a sudden, this guy, business genius. He's a business genius, and he's going to figure everything out for us, and he's going to put America back on the right track. He's against outsourcing, even though he has his own shit made in Mexico, his own shit made in China, his own shit made in Turkey, as he feigns, all these terrible corporate leaders who outsource their jobs, fuck them. That's you! That's you, asshole! So I have real reasons to dislike him. Dick Cheney, Michael Hayden, they do not. They do not. I'm actually ashamed to de facto default agree with them on anything. Even if it's fucking enjoying a ham sandwich every now and then. I want to say fuck you to a ham sandwich if they say I like ham sandwiches. So go away. See, I just can't get over the fact that they think they're nailing it. They think like, well, obviously everybody's going to listen to us. I mean, we did such a great job when we were in power. No, you didn't. You suck. Please go away. You're not making it easier and better for us to say, yeah, obviously not Trump. You're making it harder for people to say that. So you're not helping anybody. You think, oh, let's help Hillary by doing this. You're not helping her. You're not helping her. If anything, you're making it worse for her. And nobody should care about what your opinions are unless we're talking about what you want for lunch when you're behind bars in a jail cell because you're all fucking war criminals.